Hi everybody, it's James here from the Anvil. I hope everybody's doing very well. Midweek game in the Premier League is back, and it's a rearranged fixture that was supposed to have been played last month, but then COVID got in the way and it had to be rearranged. It is West Ham United at home to Norwich City at the London Stadium on Wednesday. This is a game with two teams at opposite ends of the table. And that hasn't always been the case, though. If you cast your mind back to 2 seasons ago, both of these teams were in relegation battles. Norwich was foot of the table, while West Ham was just hovering above the relegation zone. Penultimately, the two teams met after the lockdown in 2020, and Michail Antonio had a 4-goal game at Carrow Road. It was a 4-0 win for West Ham, which ultimately sealed Norwich's relegation, and it meant that Michail Antonio was the first West Ham player to score 4 goals in a game since David Cross did so in the early 1980s. This season has seen Norwich come back up to the Premier League after a whole season's absence, but it seems like a deja vu situation for Norwich, who are still foot of the table, struggling to get wins, and despite having a managerial change, things still are not going right for them. As for West Ham, well, they're attempting to solidify a grip on the top 4, which is why Wednesday is another very important game. If I just talk about the opposition, I have to say a lot of negatives about Norwich's season so far. They've played 19 games, won 2, drawn 4, lost 13, have scored 8 goals all season, have conceded 42 goals. At the time of recording, they're tied with Newcastle United in that stat, and Norwich has a minus 34 goal difference. As also at the time of recording, Norwich is on a 5-game goalless and losing streak. They've had some crushing results this season, a 7-0 away loss to Chelsea, a 5-0 away loss to Manchester City as well. This is like the same Norwich that got relegated back in the 1920 season. And even then, and I was watching Talk Norwich City around that time, and one of the presenters, I can't remember his name, but he said something on the lines of, I've been supporting Norwich in the Premier League, of course, and there's been times when Norwich has gone down in the past and it's been valiant relegation. That relegation 1920 was a very bad relegation. It was an embarrassing relegation because Norwich had a really long run without scoring a goal. A really long run. And it was, ironically, West Ham that sealed Norwich's relegation that season. From the first game before lockdown on March the 7th till the final day of the season, Norwich only scored, I'm just checking this now, they only scored once in 10 games and lost every single game from pre-lockdown until the end of the season's resumption. And this season, in 21-22, it's kind of the same thing. Started off the season losing 6 in a row, picked up back-to-back 0-0 draws against Burnley and Brighton, so there was hope there. Got its first win against Brentford on November the 6th in a game which Daniel Farke was sacked as manager straight after. Dean Smith came in and he was fired as Villa boss earlier this season. Norwich beat Southampton and then drew back-to-back games against Wolves and Newcastle respectively, but since then it's just been loss. They haven't had a particularly good transfer window in my opinion. They haven't made really that impressive signings. And they're not really players that have improved the team. The only real thing they've got is Teemu Pukki and Todd Campwell right now. Those are the two main vocal points in the team. And Pukki's leading goal scorer in the league this season in all competitions with 5 goals. But it's going to be, yet again, another season of struggle for Norwich. If things stay as they do, and they fail to collect any more points from now until the end of the season, they'll have a worse record than the 2008 Derby side did. The only one thing that will be a positive is Norwich would at least have one more win than Derby did in that season. So things are looking very bleak for Norwich, but West Ham's had a good track record against them over the years. And we have, I hate to admit it if you're a Norwich fan, but we have rolled your team over. And a lot of teams are doing that this season anyway. As for my 3 players to look out for, the first player is Teemu Pukki, a Finland international who has been at Norwich now for 3 years. 4 years, rather. And he's won 2 promotions with Norwich up to the Premier League. He was in the Championship Team of the Season, the 18-19 season. He won Championship Player of the Season that season. He was Team of the Year last season in the Championship as well. He had a very impressive 2020-21 season, 26 goals in 41 games. And the Championship is a league that he rips up, but when it comes into the Premier League, he struggles. It's not his level. Premier League football just does not seem to be Pukki's level, but he is a very well-liked player in that team. Second player I'm going to talk about is Christos Solis, a Greek international who celebrates his 20th birthday this month. He's a winger who has a lot of potential. He was a highly rated player in Greece. And since he's come to Norwich, he's trying to make an impact, but he is still young and fans expect probably a bit more of him, but it's going to come with time. He'll get better, I think, and improve for Norwich over time, that is for sure. And the third player I'm going to talk about is Todd Campwell, who West Ham were linked with at one point over the summer, I do believe. Campwell has been at Norwich City pretty much all of his life, having been a part of the academy and now in the first team. He's made over 100 appearances in the league for Norwich, within the Championship and the Premier League. And he is a very playmaker type of midfielder, if you ask me. He's got good passing, good vision. He's been through 2 relegations and 2 promotions with Norwich, and he's stuck through the club through thick and thin. He's a very loyal player, and I think that's another reason why fans in that part of the country like him. Although he is now linked with a move to Newcastle United. He has a deal expiring in the summer, and there's teams that are going to be hovering about for him. So Campbell goes in here because of his important role in the Norwich midfield and how well liked he is by their fans. As for a player who played for both, well, it's actually a current member of this setup at Norwich, and that is Sam Byram, a right-back who played for West Ham for 3 years. Byram initially started his career at Leeds United and signed a professional contract with Leeds in 2012. In January 2016, he joined West Ham United and made his debut against Manchester City in a 2-2 draw. Although he had a decent debut, he never really hacked it for West Ham. He was not really a reliable starter, wasn't really that good of a bench player. I think he struggled quite a lot. I don't really have a lot of good memories of Sam Byram, if I'm honest with you. Went out on loan to Nottingham Forest in the 18-19 season and then signed permanently with Norwich in 2019. And even to this day struggles to get some game time for Norwich City. As for my score prediction, I expect West Ham to go out and beat them. I'm going to say 3-0 West Ham. I feel very optimistic. Although both teams are coming off of FA Cup wins and are into the next round, West Ham's going to be the superior team in my opinion. I'm not saying that just to count the chickens. I'm just saying that based on fact and stature of both teams. Norwich, again, no disrespect. A lot of fans are going to view them as similar to like a Hull-esque team. Remember how Hull used to get relegated and come straight back up every 2 seasons? That's what Norwich is doing. And it's for their fans frustrating because they do all that hard work to get into the Premier League, then bomb it when they actually get there. Don't recruit properly over the summer. They're going to have a hell of a January. Delia's going to have to cook something up with the transfer funds. And maybe make, midfield pie or give Timu Puki extra beans and adrenaline or carbohydrates or whatever to get them scoring. Because I don't know what's going to turn their season around. Relegation is definitely a real concern. I don't even have to say that. You just have to look at the league table and tell me that. So Norwich is going to struggle, I think, in this game. And West Ham I expect to win 3-0. So I'm going to push my luck and say 3-0 to West Ham because I feel like that right now. Thank you very much for watching this episode of Opposition Uncovered. If you liked the video, you know what to do by now. Hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe for more content. Take care, everybody, and I will see you all soon.